Hey there. My name is Joshua, and I'm a dork. And I like it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with just being a dork. Or I wouldn't call myself a nerd. I do like technology, and I am a little obsessive about technological things, but I'm more of a dork. And if you're unfamiliar with those terms, maybe they're offensive these days. Who knows anymore? Of course, nerd became more of a compliment over the years, but dork is just a guy who is just awkward and says stupid shit. I might blurt out something that's dumb at the wrong time because I'm a human being. But I've always been a little awkward, and a lot of other people are awkward. Most of us are awkward. I say a lot of other people because I know there are some of you who think you aren't awkward. There are going to be at least a few people watching this who truly, deep down inside, believe that they are, quote, normal. Sorry, but no, you're not normal. Not one of you is normal because there is no such thing as normal. You can base it on your behaviors, your values, your color of skin, if that's what you consider normal. There are a million things we can define normal as, but the truth is, we're all individuals and we're all awkward. When I was in high school, which actually started more like in junior high, I got bad acne. I started getting some bad zits in seventh grade, compounded in eighth grade, and around freshman and sophomore year, I was basically just a minefield. My face was like the moon, and my buddy and I we made friends because his grandpa turned out to be like he dealt with the mafia, the Italian mafia, and he imported like Thai weed. So we had this huge chest full, and the guy, first week of school, we're at an alternative school, and he came and he dropped a bag of weed, just gave me a big like quarter ounce of this what looked like Mexican weed. I was like, oh, he just dropped it on his way to his desk. Hadn't even met him yet. Went home, smoked it with my friends in the woods, and let's just say that no, it wasn't Mexican. There were no seeds in it. It was Sinsemilla. It was imported. It was intense, and that was some of the best shit I've ever had in my life. We became great friends, and the point being that he was awkward as hell. He had no friends, and I was awkward as hell. I mean, knew a few people, but just because people liked me doesn't mean that I knew how to interact with them. And that's a key thing. People might like you, but you might just not know how to talk to them properly or how to go about a normal conversation for some people. This guy, we related on the zit thing. That's why we both had what we called mounders, which we'd get these basically cysts that would build up on our face. In fact, when I met my wife, at that point I was 23. 22, 23, and I had this huge cyst growing right out of the side of my cheek. I still have a scar because I had to have surgery to get it removed. But she still loved me. Hey, what can I say? But I've been awkward my whole life. Even back then, I had acne, and it wasn't just acne, of course. That's just one example. But we all know if you have scabs on your face, it pretty much sets the tone. You know, you build a lot of character through having that, through having a pockmarked face, and partly probably why I always have a beard because it covers up any of those pockmarks, and I just like having a beard too. But the rugged guy, right, instead of the awkward kid. But I'm a human, you know, just doing the best I can, navigating this world like the rest of you. And it's okay to be awkward. It's okay to just be weird. It's okay to be yourself. There seems to be, you know, it's okay to be a dork. That's all I can say. It's okay to just be yourself. But often we don't even know what that means. Don't let anyone ever tell you, just be yourself. And take that as a final answer or a final comment. When you don't know who you are, it's hard. And especially when you're young, you're constantly yearning and searching for something to grasp onto, something to call your own. You'll find that when you're, especially in your late teens and early 20s, you will attach yourself to any job and find that you will start to identify with the job after like a year, right? This is what I do, and you'll be proud of it. But you'll also suffer from the Dunning-Kruger effect of believing you know more about the workforce and, life in general. And then reality gets spit in your face and you find out you don't know a goddamn thing about how people really think. And this is an ongoing, lifelong process. The idea and the point here is to give up on trying to identify people and how they think, what they do, and especially stop trying to be like other people. You don't need to be like other people, and you'll probably be miserable if you try. You've got to find that flashy, flair. I'm thinking about Flair from the, what movie was that, where you've got to have 20 pieces of flair. Office Space, I believe it was. I think it was the girl from Friends, Jennifer Aniston, I think, and she had to have a certain amount of flair, at least 19 pieces of flair, like pins or buttons or whatever, at the restaurant she worked at. And I thought about that like as a kind of a great metaphor for, standing out as yourself. I wear like hundreds of pieces of flair when I go out to concerts. And this weekend, Fish is playing. And they're one of my favorite bands. Hey, look, it's 7:19 into the video. That's my number. Fish is playing two concerts, two nights up in Seattle. So my wife and I and our son and his girlfriend are going to go up there and see the show, stay in a motel, then see the next show, then drive home so we can be here with the kids. And whenever I go to events like that, I always wear, ridiculous clothes. I try to be unique, be myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it does take a lot of courage to just do something different. But I've found it's so rewarding. To be the weird guy, the outcast that wears something totally different it's so awesome, I just wish people could see that and how important it is that we don't give a fuck what other people say. I know some super judgmental people I've met in my life. Fuck them all. They don't matter at all to me. That's, that can be friends, family, acquaintances. It doesn't matter. The minute I encounter somebody who wants to point the finger at other people and doesn't understand the basic concept of uniqueness, I just don't have the time for it. And maybe that's a quirk. Maybe that's a flaw. I don't know. But it served me well. And I think it would serve anyone well to maybe not be yourself, but find yourself. And that's only done through stop giving a shit what other people think ism. Stop giving a shit what other people think ism. Hashtag stop giving a shit what other people think ism. Anyway, that's my ramble for the day. Or one of three. I've just felt inspired today. It's final discussion here. Sometimes you just feel on top of your game and you feel good and you feel like you can make it happen. Like for me, making videos is a great, or going to work, I build tiny houses. I'm a carpenter. And so, but they're big tiny houses. So it's like building a house basically in a warehouse. And there's some days when I just feel on top of my game. I'm like, holy shit, it's already 5 o'clock. There's other days when I'm just like, fuck, it's only 2. I haven't even taken lunch yet, And it's the same way at home. Some days I come home feeling good, other days not, or maybe in between. And it might depend on my diet, might not. I might have eaten great food all day and just be dragging butt. Maybe I smoked too much weed. Maybe I drank too much beer. We're all just navigating homeostasis. And if everyone was in a state of homeostasis, nobody would be fighting about anything. It's not that that's possible for everyone to be in that state at the same time, but theoretically, if it were, the baseline would move. We would have, people would be upset about something different. It's akin to a comment I made in a video the other day. I said, let's say you're left or right wing minded. You're a liberal and you think I've talked to people who say all conservatives are dumb or idiots. Like, I know people, very intelligent people, only like one or two who have said that, but that every conservative's an idiot. I'm like, you really can't make that claim. But I've also have conservative friends who say every liberal person is an idiot, or every Democrat, right? The truth is, we know that's bullshit. There are many people in between. Everybody has their own kind of mid-ground. And I think it's just easier for us sometimes to label an entire group ignorant. But imagine if we could consider that people are more pliable and flexible than we realize. If we give them the chance to air their concerns and agree with them. I have two good friends who, one's far left, one's far right, and it's great having discussions with them both. And we have a great time. I wouldn't say they're both far left or right. I mean, one of my friends is pretty far left, but the other guy, he's not far right. He's a liberal and he doesn't know it. But he calls himself a conservative, or maybe I think both of us agree we're more or less libertarians in the traditional sense. I've agreed with most libertarian-minded people that it's about individual freedom and less government, but believing that humans have the capacity to take care of each other. And as I heard in a podcast today, government or federal government has diminished to the point where they're not even benefiting the people anymore. Therefore, there's no use for them, and it's time for them to just kind of go away. So then, maybe I'm an anarchist too, but anyway, got way off topic, way off the point here. It was about being yourself, being okay with being awkward, being okay with being an individual. Be a rugged individual. You make a dork of yourself. Don't give a shit what other people think. It just doesn't fucking matter. I see so many videos on YouTube like this that are considered to be, that are calling themselves inspirational or, vlogs or inspirational videos. And they're so fucking cut up. They have a jump cut and edit every 5 seconds. And you all know what I'm talking about. And if you're not familiar with how videos are processed, whenever a guy moves from here to here to here to here, that's a jump cut because the person edited out a small part because he was so insecure in what he was saying. I have watched so many philosophy and self-help videos that do that kind of shit. They jump around, they're obsessed with their lighting and their camera angles. And I'm just like, you just don't fucking get it. You have not figured this shit out yet, have you? I'm sitting behind a $2 fucking Goodwill light with my cell phone camera. Bad lighting, I'm sorry, but it's about the content. And I'm going to stick with that. I've done this shit for fucking 12 years now on YouTube. The same way. Not giving a shit about whether or not I use a good camera. Sometimes I do use one because I was into photography, but then my computer shit on me. And yeah, just got to own it. Got to own the awkwardness. Own the home movies on high 8. So, hope you enjoyed. And if you didn't, then whatever. Peace out. See y'all next time. Be well.